Good morning, YouTube. It's a little after 8 a.m. Getting my fire going to cook off bacon. I've got a cast iron skillet here. I'm going to cook the bacon on that. Jen's going to fry up some scrambled eggs in the pan on the electric cooker. So eggs and bacon. I think we're going to have toast as well. Sounds like a good breakfast. How's that for breakfast? Yummy! We're just gonna sit in here and eat it. Mainly because we got rain last night and everything outside is all wet.
And I see we cooked the bacon the way he likes it. Just a little bit chewy.
I don't like bacon unless it's on a BLT. I don't want bacon to where if you take a bite of it, it all crumbles apart. That's the way she likes it.
That's the way it's good.
I want my bacon to stay together as I eat it. See? It's a little flopsy, not horrible. And it doesn't crumble apart.
My coffee.
Salsa? Hot sauce?
Ketchup. And it's in the pantry. AKA this
Gotta
bench.
roughen it. No hot sauce. Good stuff.
This means we should be able to avoid second breakfast today.
Yeah, yesterday we woke up. It was just going to be cereal for the morning. And probably, maybe an hour later, we were both starving again.
Oh, not starving, but hungry.
We were hungry.
We could eat. We did.
We went to the Dodge, or the
Douglas
Lodge. I combined the two. Mm-hmm. And we had another breakfast there. She ate about half her food. I ate all mine and the other part of her half that she didn't eat. Jelly counts as a fruit, right?
Maybe if you eat a quarter cup of it.
I know it's true, you got jelly, not jam. Do you guys know the difference between jelly and jam? Huh? Do you? There is a difference.
There is.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I remember it. Jam has pieces of fruit in it because you have to jam them in the jar. Right?
Okay, fine. If that's the way you want to remember it.
That's the way it, well, yeah. That's how I remember it. But jam has pieces
See,
of
to
fruit.
me, jelly is jello. And so it's got no pieces in it. It's just the essence of the fruit.
It uses the fruit, the juice. And so it's more, the texture's more consistent.
I prefer jam. Eat it proper.
Was I doing that?
Pinky up.
Was I doing that?
We are going to see about taking the guided boat tour. We were down at that boat dock yesterday and took a look at the boat. Now the only bad thing is that they don't launch the boat unless they have 18 people on it. So it's like you show up, there might be 15 people there, but all of a sudden they'll go, nope, not enough, we're not going to launch it right now, come back later, we'll try it again. If we can't do that, I might just go and see if we can rent a pontoon boat, just a 16-footer, the smaller one. It's like $20 an hour, and then I think it's $25 for every hour after that. We'll go down and we'll see the deer exclosure. I don't know what an exclosure is. I've never heard of an exclosure. I know what an enclosure is, and I thought that's what it was a deer enclosure. So I don't know if it's something designed to keep deer out instead of in. I don't know. But we're going to go and we're going to check it out. We'll probably go to the Preacher's Grove and we'll finally get to see that. And yeah, I'm not sure exactly what else though. Oh, and we'll truck down and we'll see the old sawmill. So those are the things that we're actually going to do today. So the deer exclosure, the Preacher's Grove, the sawmill, and possibly maybe the lake tour, but we're not sure about that one. So we might end up just, like I said, renting a boat. Maybe. Don't know yet. Okay, it looks like we got plenty of people for the boat tour, so we are going to get on that boat and we are going to go for a ride. Alright, I guess we're going to go upstairs and try it for a little while. If it gets too cold, we'll come back downstairs where it'll be a little bit warmer. Okay, I'm actually standing on the deck on the back side of the boat. Everybody is towards the front. I was actually telling Jen we should bring our chairs out here and we'll just watch from back here. There's like nobody out here. All right.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chris Colburn. I am a licensed U.S. Coast Guard captain. With me today is my sister Kim, who's also a licensed captain. And running the snack bar galley back there for us today is my daughter Kendra. And we'd all like to welcome you aboard the Chester Charles and to Lake Itasca Tours. Well, I'll begin by letting everyone know that the Chester Charles is a 141-passenger Minnesota State inspected vessel. All the captains who operate this boat are licensed through the United States Coast Guard or Minnesota State. Now on board we do have 141 life jackets, 7 fire extinguishers, as well as all the other required safety equipment. Now as you folks are walking around the boat, which you are of course more than welcome to do at any time, from the top deck to the bottom deck or vice versa, please take a look around and take notice to where everything is at. Now we also have a bathroom on the boat. This is located on the lower level. As you come down the stairway, turn and go back towards the back of the boat. It will be on your left-hand side as you're facing the back of the boat, and it is a unisex bathroom. I would ask though that you please read the signs very carefully that are located in the bathroom. Rain toilets are very touchy, so we greatly appreciate that. And just a few more things I must mention before we get underway here. Of course, there's no running loud on the boat, rocking on chairs, sitting up on top of tables, up on top of railings, or leaning way over them. And of course, these are all for safety reasons. And one more thing that is very, very important to us that we do ask, if you do decide to come down into the lower level, which of course you are more than welcome to do so at any time, back and forth, wherever you are the most comfortable. Especially down on the lower level though, we do ask that there's no talking during narration. All narration is live. We definitely want everyone to be able to hear it. We don't want anything feeding up to the microphone. Also, as I mentioned, my daughter Kendra is back in the snack bar galley. Back there we do have some pop water, Gatorade, candy bars, popcorn, ice cream, things like that. Thank you.
So we're still on our boat tour. Because of the rain and the wind, we're not seeing a whole lot of wildlife, although we did see a bald eagle. But they were just talking about, the state bird is the loon. And Jen just goes, I thought the state bird was the mosquito. So our cruise is just about done. No deer, no black bear, just a few loons, turkey vulture. Let's see, we had a mature bald eagle. And, well, I think we had an immature as well. I don't know if they actually saw the mature one. I did. A couple of seagulls, stuff like that. But it's just about to the dock now, so we're going to dock up, head back to camp and have some lunch, just some sandwiches. Then we're going to go to the deer exclusion. Exclosure. Something like that. But we're going to have some gorp, good old raisins, and peanuts. But we also have M&Ms in it. So we're just going to take a couple of handfuls of this. We're going to go off and see a cabin that we actually spotted from the boat tour. And I think it's called the Old Timer Cabin. It's the very first cabin that the CCC, the Civilian Conservation Community or something like that. Basically, it was the start of their park here. People were wanting to take care of the wilderness area and stuff like that. Well, they came out and they built a bunch of buildings for, those people to live in while they were out here working. And the building that we're going to go see is the first one. Okay, here we are at the Old Timers Cabin. Now, on the tour they said that these logs are, unique because usually you see a log cabin, there's probably, maybe 8 to 10 layers of wood. Check this out. The walls have 4 logs. 4! Look how big those damn things are. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it.
This one.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, just amazing. Now, this cabin was not originally built here. It was actually built, it was up the lake farther. And then, no.
No, it was built
it was placed here. It was actually built on the other side of the lake, and then in the winter, they actually brought it piece by piece and then constructed here. That's what happened. Let's see if we can go inside. Oh, damn it. Can't get in. I'll padlock shut. Nice handle, though. I like that. Yeah, look at the size of these logs.
chinking?
Oh, I'm sure there's something. Well, I tried to get pictures through the windows that are around the cabin, but there's a screen in front of the windows, so I just cannot, every time I place the camera as close as I can to the window, all I'm getting is my reflection. Alright, well, that's the old timer's cabin. It's pretty cool. Wish I could have gotten into it. Alright, let's go back to camp. My battery's running low on this because I've actually been doing a lot of filming. I was cooking bacon, just let it run. Jen was cooking eggs, just let it run. Eating, just let it run. Alright, let's go back to the campsite. We're going to get some lunch. It's already well past 12. I think it's coming up on 1. Alright, let's go. Just making some sandwiches for lunch. Slices of ham. Got a little cotto salami. And a couple of slices of pastrami. Oh, cheese and veggies, and my sandwich is all done. Tomato, onion, avocado. Go on the sandwich. Well, lunch is done. At least the sandwich portion's done. Time for dessert. It's a recipe that we found from a chef that we like on TV, Alton Brown, and these are his Rice Krispie treats. They used a puffed rice instead of the actual crispy Rice Krispies.
Puffed brown rice.
Yeah, it's a puffed brown rice. Yeah, it's got raisins and stuff in it, so these are really good.
Knife and cutting board are down here.
Knife and cutting board. That's a single serving, isn't it? Alright, I'll share. Okay, so we are done with our lunch, and we are heading towards the Mary Gibb deer exclosure. Sorry, I gotta think about that one every time I say it. And we've never heard of an exclosure before. It's like, what the hell is an exclosure? We don't know what an enclosure is. So apparently they built this to keep the deer out. So there must be plants or something in there, but we have no idea exactly what. Okay, so we're at the deer exclosure. We parked right on Park Drive, and it should just be up here. The trail technically begins over at, hey, look at that, a crabapple right on the ground, a bunch of them. Well, I don't see any in this tree.
It has to be. No, it is this one. Right there.
Oh, do you see a crabapple?
Yep.
I'm just not seeing it.
Come here. Stand here.
Oh, there it is. Sorry, it's green and the leaves are green, so... But anyway, what I was saying is that the Mary Gibb Deer Exclosure Trail actually starts at Douglas Lodge and comes this way. And as far as we can tell, it's something that was built to keep the deer out. Now, being that we just passed a crabapple tree, maybe that's part of what's in the deer exclosure. Okay, so it wasn't much of a climb up a hill, although Jen got pretty winded. I don't know if you can see it, there's a wire fence here. Kind of got knocked down from a fallen tree here. But what the exclosure did, they wanted to keep the deer away from this area to see how the deer population affected the growth of the forest. So let's see, it was built in 1937. And after 8 years, they went and found out that there was a lot of new pine growth growing in the exclosure and nothing outside of it. So that means that the deer were basically eating the pine cones and seeds for the new growth of trees. So basically that's why we have a deer exclosure here, is just because they wanted to see how the deer affected it.
There were, in 35, there were tons, way more deer than the park could sustain. Or actually that, no, just the park could sustain. And in 43, before they created, no, 43 was after they created the exclosure.
Yeah, they created this in 37.
Right. So in 43, there were deer starving to death because there weren't enough food. In 45, they opened a hunting season in the park. In 1950, they did start to find seedlings, pine seedlings, outside the exclosure. So the deer were definitely eating the seedlings because there was not enough food. They couldn't find anything else.
So we had to thin the deer population in order for the
Right.
forest to do what it needs to do.
It sounds
See,
like,
so
though,
not all hunting is bad. Some of it is needed for the rest of the forest.
sounds like though the deer population is still too high. Pine regeneration does happen, but it doesn't. It's difficult.
You know, the weird thing is too, we haven't seen any deer here. Okay, so we're done with the deer exclosure. That was actually kind of interesting. I had so many ideas on what it was for, what they would be doing, and here was scientific research. I didn't realize that. I thought it was, to help the survival of those working here, that they were trying to keep them out of their garden or something like that. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. We are now going to go down the road just a little bit to Preacher's Grove. And what it was four preachers that came in and did a camp out over here and named it Preacher's Grove.
Because the preachers camped there in the next step.
Because that was
Right there.
I know, the park is there. So yeah, a couple of preachers came here, they camped out over here, and they named it Preacher's Grove, and it's been that way ever since. All right, let's go and see the grove. Okay, here's the Preacher Grove. All right, let's go. We're done. Let's go home.
What? We're going all the way back to Wisconsin now?
I'm kidding. But this is the Preacher Grove, and it's a grove of pines here. Look like all red pines. Which, I got a video of the red pine bark. It looks really cool. But we'll just follow this path around. I'm sure it probably just goes to maybe a small clearing where the preachers actually camped, I'm assuming. And I'm also assuming they'll have a good look over the water. All right, Jen's got a picture of the sign, so what are you reading there, dear?
Oh, about the fire and a little bit about the CCC.
Fire?
Fire. There was a fire that came through Itasca Park, and I guess you can see evidence of it on some of the trees if you look for rings and fire scarring towards the base.
Oh yeah, that's right. On our boat tour, they were saying something about scorching along the roots and stuff like that towards the bottom of the tree.
Random burn pattern resulted in a patchwork of different aged pine stands. It's all on the, it'll be in the picture. We can read it later.
Okay. Oh, there's something, information down here towards the bottom. So let's go see what that says. So this basically attaches to the Douglas Trail. So the Preacher Grove area is actually this clearing, which I was getting a shot of earlier. So this is the Preacher's Grove. So don't mind the spider webs, but all the black that's inside of there, that's the scorching from the fire that Jen was talking about. Now, that trunk had it. I don't see the scoring on this one, so I don't think that's from it. Oh yeah, these over here have it. So yeah. All that black is all scoring from the fire. There's another tree here. That one down there. That one there. I think that one over there.
Over there.
Oh, yeah, there's another one over here that's got it. That fire was how long ago?
20s.
20s, 1920s?
At least, according to the sign.
It is kind of cool being in all these red pines. I mean, the bark just looks so cool. I wanted to get a good picture of it and put it on my desktop.
Actually, yeah, that would make a good desktop.
All right, let's get back to the truck and go to Sawmill.
Sure. I think that would be on the way. I still want to go to the Mary Gibbs Center and get a sticker.
It'd be on the way.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to go to see the Sawmill and then back to Mary Gibbs Center. All right, let's go. All right, so here we are at Sawmill Trail.
Would you like me to do a little Vanna action?
I'd like to buy a vowel, please. Jen says that this trail is about a half-mile long. So we should be there in no time. But again, it's one of those things, we just have no idea what we're going to see once we get there. It's supposed to be the remains of an old sawmill. But, you know, everything else that we see the remains of, you know, in the cemetery, the Indian mounds. Even when we were at the old miner's cabin, the old timer's cabin, there was an old boat launch that they used for the Itasca cruise.
It was the winter dry dock.
Yeah, and they used it for dry dock. The only thing that they had was a set of old, they almost looked like railroad car wheels sitting in the bog. That's all it was. I mean, there was really nothing else there. And then the buffalo killing fields, you know, that was nothing. I mean, you couldn't tell anything was there. Everything was so overgrown. Oh, it looks like we're going to have to cross the street that we just came down on. No worries, we can do that. Well, we're still walking down the trail. Seems a lot longer than a half mile. So, we'll see. I just came across another sign that just said Sawmill Trail. But we're not seeing any signs of a sawmill. Okay, looks like we actually found the old sawmill. I thought I saw some people walking around. I did. But let's see what they got around here. Wow, that thing's huge. Like, seriously. That's got to be close to 4 feet across. Maybe even 5. I mean, that's big. Can you imagine standing on that platform, your buddy's on the other platform over there, with a big handsaw just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's the way they used to do it. So we were walking around the old sawmill. It's pretty cool. It's all right. Not great. I look down in this little area. They got little mini railroad tracks going around through here. That's kind of cool.
They look like they're in really good condition.
Yeah, it might be that they're still in use somehow. I don't know if we should kind of follow them and see where they go. Should we? So we've been walking down that trail. This is what we come out to. All these buildings. Basically what this is, it's almost like the threshery just outside of Janesville. In that once a year for a weekend, this place just comes alive. And they do shows and exhibits, and you know, people operate shops and stuff around here. But these are actually old, authentic buildings that people have found wasting away in fields and in grasslands and stuff like that. And they actually tear them apart, bring them here, and basically reassemble them. These guys are all volunteers, and they're a member of the club. $10 a year, but you also got to put in volunteer hours. So if you want to be part of the crew here, go right ahead, you can. But it's just amazing, the stuff. I mean, yeah, we were wondering about all these shacks and sheds, and we were thinking that we stumbled into some place that we weren't supposed to be, but nope. He goes, oh, that's all right, just look around. So that's what we're doing. We're just looking around. So yeah, this is what I mean about it being like an old threshery. They got old tractors down here. Far over there, you can probably see the steam engines and steam shovels. We got threshers over here. This building here looks like it's a steam-powered sawmill. The guy said there's an 8-foot saw blade in there. 8 feet. I'm not going to walk all the way over there to get it. Jen's kind of wanting to get back, so we're going to start heading back. Nice little find, though. I'm sorry, but I'm just amazed with this log. God, the thing is just huge. Okay, now, down at the bottom, I was standing on this piece of lumber right here. And that's maybe 6 inches above that lumber. And my head was barely at the top. And I don't even know if it was at the top. I think I was a little bit lower than it. And I'm 6.5 feet tall, which means that this log has got to be close to 6 feet tall. And I also think that this big, huge crack that runs down, I think that is a longer distance than from the top to bottom. But that's my personal opinion, and that's what I'm going to stick with. Should I count the rings? Should I count the rings? Fuck that. All right, now for the long walk back. That's not that long. Jen says that it was only half a mile. I'm saying it was a mile and a half. And now she's all of a sudden going, well, maybe it was the Mary Lake deer exclosure that was a mile or half a mile long, and this was a mile and a half. So, but anyway, we're heading back to the truck. Maybe we'll see a black bear along the way. You never know.
You want one potato or two?
Just one.
You want the big one or the big one?
How's that for a dinner? Oh yeah, baby.
We don't eat this well at home.
No, we don't.
Green beans might actually be a little overdone.
Yeah, went from raw yesterday to overdone, huh?
If they're overdone, it's just by a hair.
Perfect.
So I'm glad I stopped them when I did then.
The bugger's trying to eat my steaks through my blood. How dare he? Still pink in the middle. Oh yeah.
They could use some A1.
She knows how to hurt a guy. This is why we can't go camping that often. We can't afford the food.
Honestly, aside from the steak and some of the snacks, it's really nothing we don't already eat on a normal, normally. Pink basket. Or you can take the one on my shoulder.
That's for your hands.
How's that pot doing?
It's steaming.
Okay.
It started burning. We've had a good vacation,
We're not even done yet.
and we're not done yet.
And we're bushed.
We were going to do Jiffy Pop, but after that big meal, we just don't feel like it. Clean up at the end of the day, doing all the day's dishes and stuff like that, it just wears you out. I actually had to force her to come sit down and do absolutely nothing. She wants to sit and write in her journal and do. It's like, no, just do nothing.
I'm a firstborn. Writing in my journal is as close to doing nothing as it gets.
I'm a middle child. I can sit here and do nothing. But I'm also a guy, so it makes it easier.
Doing nothing means thinking about sex?
No, it means just sitting here watching the smoke whiffed up into the trees and just hearing the sounds and stuff. Not really thinking about anything. Just don't do anything. Okay, now you got me thinking of sex. Way to go. Well, we're just finishing off the night with a game of cribbage, and she's kicking my ass.
Doesn't happen very often.
Usually it doesn't. Some Oreos and milk. No cooking this night. How do you guys eat your Oreos? Do you sit there and do you do the little kid thing where you pop it off and you lick off all the frosting and then you eat just the chocolate wafer? Or do you actually just dunk it in the milk, let it soak in, and then eat the cookie all together. That's what I do.
That's the best way.
That's the best way. You guys ever played cribbage before? It's a game that we play fairly often, especially when we're out camping. Our parents used to have cribbage nights and euchre nights.
Mm-hmm.
Those were a lot of fun. We were really young. This is back when we were just dating.
So high school.
Yeah, so back to high school. And I'd be at our house until like, what, 2, 3 in the morning at times,
Probably
playing these
2,
games.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. Alright, we're going to get back to our game. You guys have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Can I see what's in his hand on the camera screen?
Works for me.